Oh, shit. Okay, so he's a rupture. She's stunned. Shit, who'd be a good support? I mean, maybe her. I think she boosts rupture, right? Her too, to fuck her up, to have an easier time. For her, just to be like, yep, it'll be easy. Or I could just do Astra as a support. Although she doesn't. I don't know, she does get a boost from that. She still has a smiley face. She works with the squad. Fuck it, let's just do a support then. I just forget what buff. I forget what buff that Lucia gives. Is it a rupture buff? I think it was a rupture buff, but I can't remember. So realistically, maybe Lucia is probably the better one. But with Astra, it makes it easy to swap between the two. Wait, what? I don't get this. Like, this part should be. This feels like it doesn't have enough setup. Like, wait, what? How is she off her game? She hasn't even helped us at all. This part should be stellar circulation. Yeah, I don't get what she's trying to say, right? And take a break. We literally just started this fight, so I'm not quite sure what. There basically was no setup to this, right? It's like her saying, hey, you're having issues, aren't you? It's like, wait, what? We haven't heard her say anything up until this point, right? And her response is wait, the next part should be wait, what does that even mean? Is she supposed to be doing something? I guess when the whole point was hey, we're gonna go back from the quest I was doing yesterday. I was hey, let's go back and continue our exploration. But I don't remember yesterday us. I don't remember us yesterday saying, "Oh, we're gonna need her to guide us somewhere." And regardless, it's always been the kind of thing of yes, even though she was here, simply because when she left was 11 years ago, and considering how young she is, she probably doesn't remember much herself, right? Even if she is 18, if she's 18, this happened when she was 7, right? So we're relying on a 7-year-old's memory for something. And I don't even remember us saying, hey, we're going to follow her lead. It was we're just going to go back. I don't know, this gets kind of weird. I don't quite... this basically just comes out of nowhere, right? This is the kind of thing, we should have had a few discussions before this. We should have... or maybe had an intro into the thing of having her be I feel a little weird, and then having us continue, and then maybe she says, You know, maybe then she says something else that kind of indicates her distress, and then we have this cutscene. It just seems kind of weird that we're starting with this with no kind of like, you know, like, you know, it just seemed kind of weird that we're immediately starting with this, and we're just like, wait, what? Like, and then like, yeah, she's asking the sword to lead the way, which is kind of odd too, because she, like, I don't really remember her mentioning the sword too much yesterday, in relation to whatever we're doing. So it's like, why are you chanting something about the sword at this point? So this is a little confusing. Like, obviously this doesn't really matter. You know, this is not a huge issue. Oh, I see. It's not a huge issue, but it is slightly weird because you're just like, wait, what? I guess that's the other interesting thing. It's like, we're getting close. I don't remember us having a. I don't remember us talking about a specific situation, right? Like, I don't remember us talking about. Yeah, like that's like. I don't remember us talking about. Like, it's just like, oh, we're going this way. Like, they made it seem like we're going there, but I don't remember us knowing exactly where we were going. Like, I don't remember us finding our. Like, I don't remember us finding a path before. You know? That's why I find kind of a little odd. Like, maybe I've just forgotten, right? I mean, maybe that could be it, right? Like, you know, maybe I did forget. Okay, that must be in here. You know, maybe I did forget. Oh, I see. There we go. Yeah, I just don't remember. Oh, okay, we gotta go here before I can move the. Yeah. Same thing before. Oh my god, it's the same thing. It's like, yes, the second I see the trap, I'm like, yes, obviously I need to fucking fuck this. Anyway, so, oh, I see. Yeah. So this has to go this way first. Then we have to destroy that, and then come back around. Anyway, yeah, like, yeah. Anyway, so yeah. Like, I understand why she, like. Now, maybe there was. Maybe the issue is that maybe they were expecting the fight to take longer, and so she was going to say more stuff in the fight. You know? Yeah, and that's the weird things. Like, so this is where she used to live. But, like, I don't remember us talking about needing to go here. Like, I know we were looking for the array, right? And I knew we were looking for more information about the array, but like, why are we now going to where she used to live? You know? Like, why do they think this is where more information about the array will be? You know, I mean, I guess technically, if the assumption is that their parents had something to do with it, which it does seem likely. It does seem likely that her parents were the ones researching more about the array. So I guess if the idea is that, we think your parents gathered some information about it. Let's go to your old home to see if maybe they left something behind. Then sure, that would make sense. I just don't remember us explicitly saying that.
お兄ちゃんはいつも手加減してくれたと。そして10年前のあの日、大きくて頼もしい影が。そんなことを考えてるうちに、橋の向こうの景色はどんどんと。
Well, that was obviously Banyu.
それが春光たちを助けてくれ。
もう思い出せない。でも、その時感じたことはずっと。
Yeah, obviously a robot would satisfy those conditions.
私を抱きしめて。
Cold to the touch, heavy footsteps.
どこか冷たく。
そうだろうか。
それじゃあ向こう岸へ行って。
And of course, it's super weird, right? She gives this long description, right? And like Banyu's right fucking here, so why didn't he say, "Oh yeah, that was me"? You know, I find that a little weird.
置いてる石、ちょくちょく見るよね。何かに使えないかな。
Floating voltage? What's floating voltage? I did not see any floating.
新しい連中をまとめてぺっちゃんことかいいですね。
I didn't see any floating voltage. What the fuck are we talking about? But yeah, so like that is the kind of. Oh, I see in the background right there. We see there's floating voltage there. But yeah, so like I do find that a little weird, where they're like. Yeah. So, yeah, like, why did Banyu not even say, or Banyu say, "Oh yeah, that was me"? You know, like that's kind of weird. Like he was. I'm pretty sure that he was the one.
すごい花、奥に進むほど増えてない？
熱眼。
満足度調査。
これが音楽の魔法。
急な内戦。
剣脚連綿。
I don't know. His skill seems to be kind of shit. Like I'm trying to use a skill, and it's like no, it seems very very basic. But yeah, these are obviously. So yeah, I find that kind of weird. Where it's like she describes this whole situation and then just doesn't, and then just kind of forgets to mention. And then Banyu just names, "Oh yeah, that was me." Yeah. And yeah, I'm pretty sure the flowers are part of the formation.
この10年であの像は随分侵食されてしまった。時の流れというのは残酷だな。割れた窓を吹き抜ける風。
確かに。
ねえ、私。まあ、どのみち手分けするのが得策ですね。ところで、万学先生。
ここに来て。
I mean, that could be it, right? So yeah, he's unusually quiet. So yeah, it could be that, right? It could be that he's just caught and is reminiscent. So maybe he's not even listening to her. And maybe that's why he didn't, pop up and say, "Oh yeah, that was me." So, yeah, so he was obviously a killbot, right? He was obviously a killbot before. So, and I don't think he freaked out and killed everybody at this point, right? Because it seems like he was the one who saved the two of them. Now maybe he did go crazy. Like maybe something did happen to him. He went crazy and caused a bunch of people to die. And then when he came to, he was like, "Oh shit," and saved all the people he could, which included Xiaoguang and her brother. So maybe that's why he's so speculative. I guess if this is all positive, right? If he's having this all positive experience of yeah, I knew all you people. We had a lot of fun. I was protecting you guys. Maybe some part of me. I mean, maybe the trauma is the fact that he let them die, right? Like, maybe even with all his power, he was not able to save them all. Maybe that's his main concern. Because, like, the event 11 years ago was really fucking terrible, so it could be that maybe he didn't do anything personally, but he's just regretful that, you know, he wasn't able to save everybody. So maybe that's it.
おばばはあんたがど触ればねえ教えて
So yeah, he could just be caught up in his own regrets. He's like, oh man, like, I wasn't able to save them. I always thought myself as strong. Yeah, like his skills, his EX special seems kind of shit. Like, it doesn't seem to do anything. Now, from the help guide from before, it did seem that they're like, oh yeah, you got to dodge. Your dodge counters build up your wrathful gauge pretty quickly, and so maybe that's it. So maybe I just gotta. So maybe the whole point about him is you're supposed to be able to do dodge counters. The problem, of course, is that when you're going against like random trash, is you actually destroy them, and you rarely ever actually need to dodge. You just continues doing lots of damage. You just keep blasting. So it makes it hard for us to get used to his personal style that much. See, I think this is dumb, right? Let's split up and do some investigating. It's like, first of all, the three of them can hold themselves in a fight. You can't. So, sure, like maybe if we go with one of them, but like no, like they're all gone. So, it seems risky to, especially like when we've been fighting ethereals all the way. Like when we're constantly fighting ethereals as we're going through, it's like maybe splitting up when one of us can't fight. Now, obviously, if we're going to go with her, that's fine. But even still, we really shouldn't be putting her in a tough situation, so she doesn't have to rely on the sword. Because if she draws it, then bad things could happen. See, the problem, of course, is that like everything, what you cherish, what you protect, what you fear to lose. The nurse, if he's in the order, it's like, yeah, but isn't she basically just alluding to the fact that yes, you cherish your sister, yeah, your sister could be sacrificed for this new order, right? Like she's quite literally saying, oh, by the way, everything comes at a price. Like you didn't realize that, like. She's even alluding to the fact that, yeah, your sister, the person who you converted to evil for, could also be the sacrifice for this new order. So it's like, yeah, basically, yeah, I know you decided to join us because we could help you, but I'm literally saying that the only reason you're helping us in the first place could be something that is sacrificed for the new order that you're helping to form. So it's like, yeah. I mean, it's like Emperor Palpatine coming up to Darth Vader. It's like, yes, I know you're coming to help us because you want to save Padme, but I might kill Padme, but I would 100% kill Padme to become Emperor, right? And Darth Vader's like, oh, okay, that's fine. Yeah, totally fair. Yeah, I know I'm doing all of this to save her, but because like obviously the Emperor's not going to say that. Palpatine's not going to say that directly. It ended up happening that way, but still. But yeah, I've given Darth Vader analogies before because this basically is true, right? He turned to evil to try to save someone, and he his fear of loss led him down this path. You know, because he had nightmares too, you know, about all the shit. So he was fearful of losing Padme, foresaw that he would lose Padme, so he joined the evil side to try to save her. And this is exactly what this Jed's doing. But Sarah just literally alludes to the fact that, yeah, by the way, you know, for this new order, she might be sacrificed. It's like, so you're literally told, yeah, the only reason you're helping us, we're just going to completely invalidate that and kill her anyway. So you're going to be the instrument to make your nightmares a reality. And he's like, okay, let's go. Like, dude, are you kidding me? Yeah, so the question is she just using the array to absorb more miasma, to like power herself up, maybe? Nah, I mean, I wouldn't trust him anymore. Well, okay, I wouldn't trust him because we know what happened to him, right? She did something with her hand. Also, like, I really dislike the idea that they keep saying, oh, it's your true self. It's like, really? Because if this is his true self, like, if this true self is caused by the miasma that he took, because it seems like, just like, because I wouldn't say, like, Zhao Guang's true self is the self that is afflicted and in a contract with the sword, right? Like, I would not say that's her true self. Her true self would be before coming across the sword, right? That's her true self. So, if the power he has was something he got from the catastrophe 11 years ago, I would say that's not really his true self, right? It's like a parasite. You know? It'd be like for Spider-Man saying, oh yeah, the symbiote is your true self, right? Becoming Venom, or, you know, becoming the symbiote Spider-Man, it's like, yeah, that's your true self. It's like, no, it's not. His true self was the self he was before he bound with the symbiote, right? Obviously, that's what happened. Right? Like, obviously, that's his true self. Not his true self isn't the self that he became after he got parasitized.
あれ、どうやって開けるんだっけ。確か
春子、何か。
もうこんなに時間が経ったし、いざここに来てみたら、もう少し先にある階段を上がったら、お父さんは言ってた。空の星の一つ一つは、明かりの消えてしまったお父さんは、ミアスマの中で亡くなった婚姻たちを。
わかった。でも。
みんなを見殺しにした怪物なら恨む。
静かすぎて。
静か。まあ確かにこういう誰もが苦労して生きてる場所だと、フォローに飲み込まれてなかったら壁の中を走るね。ちょっと買いたいんですけど、人が
自分を殺した相手に感謝？
まあまあ、ちょっと考えてみてくださいよ。
あ、うん。自分、それか復讐の終わりとか？誰かを殺した罪を背負ったまま生きるっていうのは死ぬより辛い時があるかもしれないし。もう一つ可能性があると自分が死ぬことで大切な人が生き延びられ。
自分が死ぬことで大切。
I mean, there are a bunch of situations like that, right? You know, it could be a thing of self-sacrifice. It could be like, it depends on like what you're killing, right? You're like, oh, you're a killer. It's like, well, yeah, like, because like if you're like, especially in this world where you can be corrupted by miasma and shit like that, right? Like, I think we even came across a situation in the story where like someone was in the process of being corrupted and like we killed them before they could, and they were like, oh, kill me before I go too far. And was it this story? Was it this game? Maybe there's another one. But that kind of thing. Like, this does happen where it's like, yeah, it's kind of like zombies, you know? Where it's like, oh, if you get bitten, you turn into one. And it's like, yeah, people become ethereals, right? Like, a lot of the ethereals, I think, in the Hollow are actually, like, corrupted beings. Things that were something else. You know, dogs and people and animals that got corrupted by the ether and became ethereals. So it's like, you know. And now, obviously, by this point, they've already lost their sense of self. But maybe while you're turning, you would still retain it. So you'd be happy to know that, yes, you won't become an instrument of death to innocent people. Oh, I thought we were going to talk about the fact that she can teleport, the fact that her ring becomes a portal. Well, I mean, she says the curses of the dead. It's like, well, no, like, because like there's a difference between someone saying something while they're alive and something that you're saying at death's end, right? Because yeah, sure, like you're gonna get a lot of deathbed confessions where it's like, yeah, people are trying to release the truth at the last moment. Whereas when you're alive, you have the wherewithal to lie, right? Whereas when you're about to die, what's the point of lying, you know? So I can understand that, yes, you're probably gonna get more truthful statements at the end of someone's life than during it, but obviously it still depends on the person. There are very truthful people who wouldn't lie anyway. And then, well, of course, it does depend on what you're asking them. Yeah, I guess. I mean, obviously, yes. So yeah, if you're talking like a chronic liar, yeah, sure, you're probably gonna get more truth out of them on their deathbed than during their life. But like, that's a pretty rare situation. Although to be fair, like she is part of an organization that deals with shit like this, so its chances are she does come across more liars throughout the course of her job than honest, truthful folk. Interesting. She's not our enemy, but why even say that? Unless, of course, they too are trying to do what we're trying to do and find the truth of the matter that happened. The cause of what happened 11 years ago, right? And so that's why they could become antagonistic towards us, because if they're going after our teacher, who we still trust and believe in, while trying to figure out the truth, yeah, I guess that could be seen as antagonistic for us who want to trust her implicitly. If these people are trying to find and judge her, that could be a breach of trust. All right, can I say anything else? Obviously this is going to be the same discussion, right? Do I have a choice? I think I had another choice, right? Yeah. Does this do the same thing? Oh. Okay, never mind. Damn, okay. I knew there were two options, but... Yeah. Okay, yeah, I was kind of hoping that the other option... Because, like, I thought her ability, I'm like, okay, we'll learn about her ability, and then, you know, but yeah, it seems like ability and motive were basically tied to each other. Wait, what? There's a third. Oh, that looks suspicious. The ominous fucking miasma body of our senior brother. Is that what he's gonna do? He's gonna pop over there so that he can, like, say something to the ether, knowing that he's gonna, like, we're gonna find out about it? I see. So that's what he's struggling with. Either just let himself die, let it hit. I mean, I don't know. Obviously, dying is not really a true atonement, right? Dying is just a way to escape, to escape trying to atone, right? He might have done some horrible things when he was a killbot, but if you die, you can't help anybody, right? You're not helping anyone by dying, but by trying to help people, you are actually making up. But obviously, you know, doing that is, you know, having to deal with all that shit yourself, having to constantly live knowing all the shit you have to. So yes, so dying is just an escape for yourself, not really trying to rectify things. But obviously, it is the easier course of action. Yeah, so that's the interesting thing, is that, so like, if the array's supposedly it's collecting and purifying it, but like, maybe it's not able to purify it, right? Maybe it is collecting it, and that's why she's trying to, maybe because the array has been going on so long, and the reason why the miasma is receding is because it's all being collected in this one location. And yeah, sure, maybe at some point it will be purified, but at the moment it's just being collected. So maybe that's why Sarah is showing up, is because it's like, well, there's a big pile of miasma here that has yet to be purified. I can use it, type thing. Oh, okay, so I can't talk to him again like I could. Okay, so is he gonna talk? Oh, that's it? Darn. I was kind of hoping that he, like, went off to the side and was gonna, like, give, like, a little, like, speech kind of thing, where he's gonna be like, I know, I'm gonna say this and this. Like, now that Sarah is no longer in earshot, and I know that, you know, people might be following me, I could give my true motives so that we could see. Wait, what? Let me go back here. What the fuck is that?
レームは一応この一瞬に
セーフ山崩れ大地は避けるジルは
音楽に溺れなさい。突然の電話。
山崩れ大地は避けるジルは
電話はまだ切れてません。
肉力同心何故に学ばぬのかジル
いでよけ。すごいミアスマの気配。
荒々しき邪気そのしまがまがしき気配むやみに受けず銃を持って制すの
そういうお説教は可愛いお弟子相手にどうぞ。
ジル
お待たせしました。突撃。音楽に溺れなさい。突然の電話。
山崩れ大地は
I don't like this. I don't know what this fucking supposed to. I mean, when I'm in this mode, am I supposed? I think I'm supposed to do skills, right? EX. Oh yeah, EX special does something. I don't know. Like, I have to double check because you're obviously supposed to get into that mode. You're supposed to get into the super mode. But like, I don't know. His EX special doesn't like seem to do anything. It's like, yeah, it doesn't attack, but like it doesn't seem super special. It doesn't seem super important. Like I can button mash it and it doesn't seem to do shit. Like it's not like every single one of those EX specials like consumes a gauge. Because I was like hitting it multiple times and I was seeing like 2 skills go off and the gauge only go down by 1. So I'm not really sure how to play him. So
宮妻の気配が
お化けみたいにコソコソして忘れるかそれどうです
早く荷物をまとめるぞ。フォローが目の前だってのにこんな森屋敷なんか教えていられるか。
何焦って
ほら宇治を引きに行くぞ。ファンさんいつもあんたにくっついてるお荷物は
どうしたんだい。みんなもう行ったわ。あんたがお腹を満たしたら
あの人たち
ああ
oh, okay, so she had the white black hair even back then. So this is just natural then. So it's not like some sort of like it's not something that happened to her. Like it's not like oh she had pure black hair, but then she got scared when she was during this horrible catastrophe and half her hair was bleached white in the fear.
あんなの形だけのものさ。
木なんだって釈明の器として一人生贄を差し出せばどいつもこいつも我が身が可愛いだろうからくじ引きにしてやったんだ。
It's like what? She's one shell. Are their life? How does that even work? So the question, of course, is that did Auntie Fang betray her, right?
まったく
おばさんだから悲し
Oh. Yeah, because I was wondering if Auntie Fang was like... I don't get why...
願いですか
I don't even understand this.
霊媒師さんが
Was this not the Hollow catastrophe? Was this 11 years ago? I don't even understand where it's like, yeah, we just throw her into this hole and like we're safe somehow.
たらいい
But no, my bet is that she'll probably escape, she'll probably come back, and then realize everyone who sacrificed her died themselves. Oh, okay. Yeah.
おばさん
Thank you.
どこへをたどって
Nah. $10 says
ここから出るんだ
$10 says Auntie Fang was the one who did it, right?
霊媒師と外から来た人たちはどうしてそんなことにあのおばさんはどこ
Aliens. Yeah, exactly. Knew it, called it. Yeah, obviously, yeah, that was the whole thing. That's what I assumed. I do find it weird though. It's like, wait, what? Because like, the fact that there were that many people means they've done this multiple times before, right? But how the fuck does that even work, right? Like the Hollow is not like the Hollow is not normal, right? Like there are no contracts. It's not like old gods back in the day, right? Where it's like, oh, I sacrifice. You know, we send a sacrifice to the middle of the lake, so the big serpent in the middle of the lake will eat that and save us and protect us. It's not something like that. It's not something you can reason with. It's just like a natural phenomenon, right? It's like saying, yeah, we sacrifice someone into a black hole so that the black hole doesn't like wipe out the universe. It's like, what? That's just a force of nature. What are you even doing? Like, why did you even think to do this in the first place? It's such a weird thing. And the fact that they were like, you know, like, because you'd have to do something to have some sort of like result, right? Oh, they had to have like noticed. Oh, if we sacrifice something gets better, or else why even bother, right? Unless, I don't know. It could be something like the Exaltus, where they worship the Hollow, and they're like, yes, the Hollow needs sacrifices. That's what stops it from growing. You know, maybe they got some crazy idea like that. Hard to say.
あのサクリファイスが消えた後、お二人とも石みたいに動かなくなったんだ。なんと呼んでも反応がなかった。
あの声が。
さよ。
なんて言ってた？
人の心の隙につけ込む。力をさ。
サクリファイスは言ってましたね。始まりの主の。でもどうして私と万学先生、皆さんこのエリアに入ってから何も聞こえてませんか？もう一人の自分？特に何も聞こえなかった。師匠自ら封印を手掛けて以降、なおさら興味深い状況になってきましたね。
But also could be like, because like the whole point, like drinking that like Porcelaminix medicine that the Exaltus made was that it makes you think of like good dreams, right? And it could be that the two of you have like the most, or the two of you have the biggest skeletons in your closet, right? The two of you have the most unresolved issues. Like Belle, yeah, sure, like she lost her teacher. It's like, yeah, that's kind of sad, but like, really, it's not like she's not like letting it affect her, right? Like, clearly, like when we were talking to her, she was clearly affected by this, right? She's clearly been affected by her power. Manyu is clearly affected by his past. I mean, both of them are affected by their past, right? Whereas like Belle is kind of like moving forward. Jiaguang is kind of like not really as affected by it. Like she doesn't really remember much, right? So that might be why. I mean, it also could be the sword that's protecting her, and our power could be protecting us too. Maybe we would get lost in our memories if we didn't have our own unique abilities.
今までどうにかお忍びって師匠たちはラマニアをフォロー。
春子、そのは
同感ですね。万学先生。
Is this the end of this round? Okay. I don't think I can continue more. Because because it basically seems like each section takes about like this one took only 45 minutes, and I pretty much focused the entirety on it, and I just fuck around a bit and like do some theory crafting and chatting. So.
君が若くして生命権を継いだという楊春子さんだ。
秀才だなんてごめんなさい。私ってば本当。
A Void Hunter. Interesting. So is Miyabi a Void Hunter? Because I could have sworn I think I heard someone make a comparison between her and Miyabi. Is that a Void Hunter's certain level of strength? I don't know why they say Void Hunter, unless maybe any hunter that goes after the Nineveh types, the super strong ethereals. Maybe every single one of those. Maybe it's kind of like if you're in terms of like adventurer. Maybe that's maybe that's what they call S-rank adventurers, where it's like, yeah, they're the ones who can do the strongest adventurers So maybe the strongest fighters are called Void Hunters, and they're the ones who have the authority to go after the super strong ethereals.
私からもごめんなさい。みんなにはもっと釈炎さんの行方がはっきりしてから打ち明けるつもりだったんだけど、
今回調べてみて事態がどれだけ深刻か痛感したわ。私はお兄ちゃんと一緒にここまで来た。誰よりもあの人のことをよく知ってる。
And that's the thing. Sure, he wouldn't, right? First of all, anyone would hurt others for selfish gain, right? Anyone would. It just depends on what you're doing it for, right? Well, actually, no. I guess technically it's not selfish gain. Actually, that is true. He's doing it to save her, which is not... I mean, you could argue it's selfish because it's something he wants and something that she hasn't explicitly, agreed with. So it's just that he wants her to be safe. So it's more about him doing this, but then again, it is for someone else, so you could say it's also selfless at the same time. So yeah. But that's the other issue, is that, like, who knows what Sarah did to him, right? If she's able to remove his morals, right? Because, like, your morality is kind of dictated on some level by emotions, right? Like, you don't kill people. It's like we say, oh, killing people is wrong. Yeah, killing people is wrong, right? But, like, that wrongness, right, is an emotion. It's an emotional thing, and that's why, like, most people, even idiots, don't kill people, right? Is because they understand emotionally that it is a wrong thing to do. So if what Sarah did was strip him of his emotions, which makes him more like a sociopath, where he is then weighing everything side by side, where it's like, oh, well, if I kill this one person, 2 people survive, he'd be like, yeah, sure, I'll do it then. Clearly math makes sense, right? So, and then of course there's also the just completely biased thing too, where it's like, where it's like, sure, pure math says, yes, sacrificing one person to save 2 people is a net positive, therefore I'll do it. There also is the idea that he could still also be biased and be like, well, her life is worth 500 lives, so I can easily kill 499 people without any worry because her one life is better than that, right? There is that subjective bias as well, which could lead him to do untold atrocities, right? If you hear, like, I don't care if the world is destroyed as long as she survives, then yeah, you'll do whatever, right? Because you don't have any emotions. And you could argue that the emotion for her is an emotion, but if Sarah's removing every emotion but that, it makes it easier for her to control him. Because if there's less emotions to get in his way to go against the one emotion of trying to protect her, then, yeah, we'll see. It could be that he is, he still does have his emotional core, and he is still rock solid, and what he's portraying himself as is still a front for her, and what she needs to hear to believe him. Yeah, could be, right? He could be going deep undercover, Like, supposedly it's kind of like, well, not really what Luke Skywalker did, is he just gave himself up, hoping for the best of his father. But it'd be like, well, I mean, so I think there was a comic, a Star Wars comic, where basically it was after the episodes 4, 5, and 6 of Star Wars, where the Emperor cloned himself and was back, basically. So yeah, even when the Emperor was thrown into that thing, he had a clone of himself, and so basically brought himself back, right? And in the comic series, Luke found the Emperor and basically turned to the dark side, right? So that he could. His intention was, oh, okay, I'll go along with it, so that I can defeat the Emperor once and for all, right? And that was his intention. Now, he still got lost in the sauce a little bit, and he had to be saved by his sister. His sister used the Force to bring him back, like he did to his father, and then they beat the Emperor once and for all. But still, it was like, yes, it could be something like that. And maybe this guy, won't get lost, and will use her as a guidepost to make sure that he maintains a sense of, self and morality. Because it could easily just be like that too. 'Cause, right, some people will be like, "Oh, I'll sacrifice anything as long as they're alive," not thinking how that person that they're sacrificing everything for would feel, right? Like, so if he's still able to keep in his mind, yes, I could do all these horrible things to keep her alive, but she would not be happy with that, and I don't want her just to be alive. I want her to be alive and happy. Then yeah, he might be able to retain his sense of self. Obviously, we're not going to know this until later. I think we're going to fight him, because I'm pretty sure I saw him as one of the upcoming enemies, so I'm pretty sure we're going to fight him at the end of this chapter. But it's hard to say if we're going to fight him and now he's beaten and we've retrieved him, or if we fight him and then he retreats with Sarah to continue his plan, right? Obviously, we'll have to get to the end of this chapter, or the end of this patch quest to figure out how it's going to continue. And even still, like, I think this is like season 2, chapter 5, and I think last season, I think we got to chapter 6 or 7, and then it went into the epilogue. So we might have another patch or two before this season wraps up. And even then, like, it could go longer, right? This season could be longer than season 1. Season 1 was definitely more all over the place with its storytelling. Because it was like, okay, well, here's the basic prologue to get introduced to the main characters. Okay, that's fine. But then it was like the Belobog thing. It's like, okay, that doesn't really relate to anything at all. Like, sure, you know, here's have a chapter about Belobog and Koleda's father. And it's like, okay, it doesn't really matter. I guess it kind of matters in the sense it introduces us to Bringer, but like, and like Bringer, you know, is a pawn from the Exaltus, so we kind of like are introduced to the Exaltus then. But like, then we have the Outer Ring too, where we met Caesar and her biker gang, and it's like nothing that happened there really seemed to matter. It's like, sure, we engaged in a biker war, and it didn't really affect the main plot at all. And so like, a lot of those chapters were kind of introducing things. So like, we got introduced to section 6 with Miyabi and Miyagi, and it's like, okay, cool. I guess we and then like and then we met Nightingale, so we met Vivian and Hugo. Although, to be fair, like, that didn't really matter either. Like, I guess the only reason that mattered was because of the sacrifice that was in the brooch on the thing that Hugo was able to steal. So it did have some slight relation, so it did kind of build more upon the Exaltist and what they're trying to do with sacrifices, which builds upon Bringer's, you know, going crazy and becoming a sacrifice. So like, it did slowly build, but like some chapters were just like, yeah, like basically most of them were okay, right? Like, they were kind of building things, but like Koleda's and the Outer Ring. So like the Belobog, I think chapter 2 with Belobog, and chapter 3 or 4, I think it was 3 with the Outer Ring. Both of them like didn't really matter at all. They were just kind of like meh. Even chapter 1 was kind of not great. Whereas like, or was it the prologue? No, I don't think that was the prologue. It was like where the construction company was gonna, you know, bulldoze through the hollow, killing the people who were not evacuated yet. Now that was our first introduction to Sarah, because Sarah was the secretary of that company president and was trying to orchestrate the deal in the first place. But even still, it was just like, eh. And then just the way the storytelling was done back then was kind of rough. We happened to go through the televisions, which really just dragged everything down. It was like, it just made quests take longer and ruin the pacing of them. So it's like, yeah, like, so poorly paced quests in stories that don't really seem to matter at the end of the day, it was kind of not great. So it's definitely not a good start to the game. But then basically, once we met Miyabi, yeah, pretty much once we met Section 6 and Miyabi and all that stuff, once those patches started, then I think things started to become really interesting. You could say Shuan, not even still, like, the PubSec chapter, or interlude chapter, was kind of meh anyway as well. Like, it was cool, like, it introduced us to them, but like, even now, like, we barely interact with them ever, right? Some of it we had to do when we fought Bringer. Sure, PubSec was there, but like, we also brought in like all the factions we had met before too to fight. So it's like, PubSec wasn't even that big of a deal. So, but yeah, realistically, once we met Miyabi, the story kind of really started picking up. The way they told stories was better. The story itself was more interesting and cohesive, and tied together for the overall narrative. And then this entire season has been pretty good too. because it is all about
信じてくれて。
kind of
でも
all about the
あんまり
Exaltus
気は使って
and all the shit that's
全
happening,
力を尽くそう
and
ただこうちゃん
all stories that they're telling are furthering the overall narrative
どうだろ
while also
うリンちゃんもしばらくこのまま彼女に付き添ってあげてくれ
telling your own little story. Like, you could argue the beach thing was not super relevant, but I think the beach thing was purely just a an event quest and not part of the main story. And like meeting Alice and Yuzuha,
休むって実は
it's still kind of interesting, right?
でもごめんなさい。でも
And even still, like, like meeting these new characters. Meeting these new characters, like all the extra little tidbits for these characters are all just done on the side. So it's not even like, because like before, like meeting a new character was kind of like, oh shit, like we're gonna have these new characters tied into the story, or we're gonna tell the story about these characters and about their faction and stuff. Which is like, well, if the characters themselves or their faction is not really super related to the overall main plot, then you basically have a main plot that doesn't really help too much. You know, it's not really progressing the narrative too much further. You know? So, which I think detracts from it a little bit. Like, it's fine to set up the world where you're like, cool, now we know more about the factions and all that stuff. And I think some of the stuff that we learned back then is being brought up now. Like, you know, like when, so we met the Victorian, the maid service, right, with Lycon and Corinne and all that. And they became a relevant point because they are working for the mayor and would come to us with help with, you know, requests from the mayor. So it's like, cool, because they set up those characters and because we had a good relationship with them, you know, they had some payoff later. And then, of course, Lycon and Hugo's relationship themselves, like, so because we knew about Lycon and all that shit, you know, so that's that one done. Ooh, hey. Oh, yeah, she's in her bedroom. Yeah, I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I want to go to bed now. If it'll just like automatically. Hey, Gus. Wait, that's it? Oh, I thought we were gonna have a little heart to heart. You know, and talk a little bit more about ourselves. Okay, I guess I'll just go to bed for now. I assume they're not gonna like force us into the quest. Basically, up until this point, it has been pretty good. Where it's like, oh, okay, we might start. It might immediately start a cutscene. Well, now obviously, but they might. Yeah, I knew that guy was. Well, we already knew. Like, we already saw him. We let Valtus go, so we already kind of assumed that he was on the take. Ah, I see. Going soft on Banyu. So Banyu must have been the one who killed whoever he cared about. And that's why he's there. Revenge against Banyu for doing what he did. Yeah, because it could be the thing is like no matter what his goal is, it could be that the second he leads her to the array, just his presence there, because it's like in Berserk, right? When Griffith activates the Behelit, It's like, yeah, all his friends were there, but they all got the sacrifice mark and were sacrificed to make him what he was, right? Like, does it matter if they had schemes? Like, did it matter that Guts might have a scheme to save everyone? No, it didn't fucking matter at all. Everyone fucking died except for him and Casca, right? So it didn't make a difference whatsoever, you know? So it's like, yeah, it could just be that just him being there, no matter what he tries, won't matter because he and her will both get sacrificed in the whirlpool of miasma from wherever they're going. Also, there's the question of why she's there, right? You'd think she would still be in the hollow doing shit like that. Okay, there we go. That's obviously where the quest is going to start. Hey, sir, you're a doctor? Yep, I cannot. Okay. Oh, whatever. Let me go do spend my resin. Like, I might be able to start that quest, but I'm let's see. What am I leveled? Yeah, whatever. Just do physical. Some physical characters I could probably bump. I know at the very least I could probably level up Piper. I think her skills aren't maxed out. Yeah, I don't really use Piper that much, but actually I don't really dislike her playstyle. It's just I don't use her because I have, if I want to use an Anomaly Mastery physical, we have Alice and we have Jane, both of which are just stronger anyway. It's like no real point in using her. Okay, there we go. I'm all done with that. Done my resin. So, okay, yeah. So, yeah, it's interesting to see. Obviously, yeah, like, he could have his schemes. He could be like, oh, I'll betray her at the right moment. But, like, if he doesn't know what he's doing, he doesn't know when the right moment is. It could be the right moment is stopping. Like, it could be that the second he arrives at the array, at the center of the array, and the second she communicates with the creator, it could already be too late by that point, right? It could be that, like, she's going to sacrifice herself to summon the creator, right? Because it does seem like she did kind of allude to a sacrifice. So I'm thinking that she's going to sacrifice herself for it, to summon him, right? And I feel like it'll like, you know, take anyone in the array. So both him and her will be absorbed. So like even if he like kills her, right? Once he activates it, even if he like runs up and stabs her, be like, "Ha ha! I interrupted your ritual." It's like, it's too late. I already opened the gate. We were gonna get sucked into it. like I already opened up the gate between us and the creator. We're gonna get sucked into it anyway and die. Like all I need to do was just open that one. All I need to do is open the gate. The second the gate's open, everyone in this room is gonna die. We're gonna get sucked in, absorbed, and then the creator will pop out. You know, could be something like that for all we know. So it could be that the only way to really stop her would be to actually stop her from getting there or even opening the gate. That's what's kind of tough about the situation, because it's like, yeah. Oh, interesting. So that's why it's kind of like, it's a tough thing where it's like, shit, you know. You think you're going to help. You think you're going to be able to do what you need to do. But it also could be that, yeah, like, sorry, like, because like he doesn't know what her plan is, and obviously she's not going to tell him like that well, like that much. So it's like, yeah, you could just not know the right moment, and the right moment would be before she, gets to that point, and you fucked up because you let her get to that point, right? So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and call it now. But thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time.